What is up, everyone? DPX here. Welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm reviewing Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Now, before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to hit the bell, leave a comment, or I will whip you. I had a lot of different, thoughts going into this one because, I feel like most people, I watched all the Indiana Jones movies. The original trilogy, one of the best movie trilogies, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Okay, it's not like the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely like when you put it next to the rest of the Indiana Jones movies, it's like, get this out of my face. Then they were trying to make this movie for a while, and it was like, oh, this is the third time Indiana Jones is like, this is his third swan song, and it's like, it's also like this movie doesn't come out until Harrison Ford is in his 80s, and also Steven Spielberg isn't doing this one, but it's James Mangold, who I also really like. A lot of trailers were coming out, and I thought it looked really good, and it got me really excited. The movie premiered, got some bad reviews, but then it came out to other critics and reviewers, and they gave it much better scores, so I didn't know what to think going into this one. But after watching it, I will say, I had a lot of fun with it. For one, gotta mention, Harrison Ford, he is Indiana Jones, You can say that he is Han Solo, he is also Indiana Jones, and, this is perfect casting that we still see the effects of, how many, 40, 30 years later, and a lot of people are a little mixed on where in life we see Indy. I think it makes sense, because it's, the progression, he's, Harrison Ford's, in his 80s, but Indiana Jones here is supposed to be 70, right? So you see a 70-year-old Indiana Jones, and, he's just not who he once was. People take issue with that, and I feel like sometimes it's done right, and sometimes it's not done right. This time it was done right. And also that beginning action sequence, the sequence at the beginning was really awesome. It's Indiana Jones just beating up a whole bunch of Nazis during World War II. I would have liked that as a follow-up to Last Crusade, that honestly would have been more interesting than what we got in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But it was really entertaining. I think that's the best word to describe this movie, entertaining. There are some issues that I'll get into later, but I was never bored during the movie. Sure, there are moments where the movie dragged, which I think literally just contradicted that, but, the movie, each sequence was entertaining, and it's just a lot of fun. This definitely took me back to the older Indiana Jones movies. This seems like, because this is a movie you'll either love or you'll hate it. This definitely seems like if you come to this movie expecting, just a fun time watching Indiana Jones do cool stuff, but kind of limited because he's older, you get that. You get exactly that. It's really well done. Some of the issues I have, though, the movie's too long. It's too long. I know I just said the movie's very entertaining, but there are definitely a good 15-20 minutes that they could have shaved off of this movie. And also, there's Phoebe Waller-Bridges' character, who, for a good part of the movie, I really did not like. The internet's been hating on her for, internet reasons, how the internet likes to be, but it's not because of any of that. Her interactions with Indy at the beginning of the movie are just incredibly, it makes her unlikable, and yeah, they're trying to put her through this arc where she becomes more and more likable, but it's she just goes a little too far, and they don't really make it clear that she's learning, you know what I mean? She just all of a sudden is like, oh, okay, and she's talking down to Indy, and us as the audience, we all love Indiana Jones, so automatically we like Indiana Jones, we don't like her. Some of my other issues, the third act of the movie, and I mean towards the end, not really the third act, but how that sort of wrapped up. Not the ending of the movie, how the third act got wrapped up. I think you understood that. Got a little weird, but Indiana Jones does get weird, so I can give that a pass, but it's definitely not what I was expecting. But going back to some of the things I liked, as a swan song for Indy, this is, of course, the third fucking time. Again, of course, it's not better than Last Crusade. You know, that definitely, having him and his dad and his friends go off into the sunset, you know, nothing beats that. But this definitely closes Indy's story in a satisfying way. You know, I was a little, you know, the way things kind of played out at first, I was like, is this how they're really wrapping up his story? But then after that, when you see what happens, it's like, okay, I think that's a nice send-off for him. Overall, I think maybe over time this is a movie where my opinion on it will change, either for the better or for the worse. But right now, I had a fun time watching Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That's what this movie provided for me, was a fun time at the movies. And honestly, that's the most you can ask for, really. As an Indiana Jones movie, though, if you go in expecting anything on the same level as the original trilogy, you're going to be really disappointed. If you're expecting anything on the level of Last Crusade, I think you'll be happy. But go into it expecting a fun adventure movie with Indiana Jones, but a 70-year-old Indiana Jones. Overall, I'm going to give Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny a 7.5 out of 10. So that's my review of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. What do you guys think of it, though? Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? Do you guys like it, not like it? If you haven't seen it, do you guys want to see it, not want to see it? Anything about the movie, let me know down below. Anyways, be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, or I will whip you.